वन्दे देवमुमापतिं सुरगुरुं वन्दे जगत्कारणं वन्दे पन्नगभूषणं मृगधरं वन्दे पशूनां पतिं वन्दे सूर्यशशाङ्कवह्निनयनं वन्दे मुकुन्दप्रियं वन्दे भक्तजनाश्रयं च वरदं वन्दे शिवं शङ्करं वन्दे भक्तजनाश्रयं च वरदं वन्दे शिवं शङ्करम्. Continuing with Shiva Manasa Puja, we looked into in the last session an actual progressive stepwise journey into our own inner space. I mentioned to you, as said in the Bhagavad Gita, that the Gita in the 6th chapter describes what we call Bahiranga Sadhanani. A day-to-day living needs to have its own dharma, its own script of do's and don'ts, of karma yoga, of Atma Kripa, a grace, self-confidence, so on and so forth. And apart from living with this generally positive, healthy attitudes, an attitude of a reverence and gratitude to the divine, apart from that, a general integrated into our consciousness. Apart from that, when you sit to personally engage with the divine, personally connect to the infinite being in that beautiful form of Shivalinga, then we need to follow certain steps. These antaranga sadhanani, steps essentially to become aware of before you sit in meditation. The Gita elaborates, talks about a proper asanam, a proper seat in a quiet environment which is not disturbing, and the position of the seat, what time, the place, the time, the asana, what is the condition of your body, becoming aware of the condition of your body, becoming aware of the condition of your senses, depending on how restless you are or how calm you are, and then becoming sensitive to the condition of your breath, becoming sensitive to the condition of the mind, and becoming aware of the condition of one's intellect. This awarefulness, this awareful presence, bringing your awareful presence into your body-mind sense complex from the external, away from the external, is called, we said, pratyaharaha. And so here we saw very beautifully, you were guided in the last session from asana to pranayama to pratyahara. And so what is asana? When we say Sukham Sthiram Asanam in the Yoga Sutra, it is said, when we say asana must be comfortable and stable, please understand the alignment is the step number 1. A comfortable asanam is not possible unless your posture, the structure, the way you have structured your posture is, if it's not comfortable, you will not be comfortable. And so there are 3 major, the structural relationship that promotes an alignment, what we call a natural alignment. And for this natural alignment, the first thing was that your pelvic bone, your pelvis must be higher than your knees. Number 2, we said that the bottom of your sitting bone must be in contact with the cushion. Why? Well, so that you get a gravitational support. A complete, broad, firm gravitational support. And therefore you should be seated appropriately with your sitting bones on the cushion on which you sit. And number 3, that your upper body has a very, hence because you have taken care of these 2, the upper body has a very, very effortless condition of balance. Effortless. The upper body effortlessly sits. If you have managed to position your frame in this way, what happens is your body remains with the natural curvature of your spine. And therefore here, the sacral spine is naturally forward. The lumbar spine is naturally forward. The thoracic spine is slightly bent backward. The cervical spine is slightly forward. And so in this position, you find your spine taking its natural curve. And with this, the head is also balanced. And in this balance, there is maximum space in the abdomen. And all your organs are comfortable. This posture is very, very important. Very important because this posture itself generates a certain sensation in the body. And if the posture is not right, you will find yourself holding the body. You will find yourself tense. You will find yourself stiff. You will find yourself moving. And if for some reason you manage to, through a guided meditation, enter into meditation, your long posture will keep bringing you back to the physicality. It'll remind you of your aches and pains. And so, or your discomfort of your alignment. And therefore, the posture is important because you want to be able to sit on gravitational support, firm and still, not by muscular effort. And so, if your posture is not right, then through your tightness, your stiffness, through your will, you try to be erect. Like when I tell you relax and people become tense, they become firm and the shoulder goes high. So when you relax means you let go, you don't become tense. So a posture must be such that it will support your next step, and that next step after asana is pranayama. As after asana is pranayama, so that you learn to observe your breath. Is your breath deep, diaphragmatic? Does your stomach expand when you breathe in? And does it collapse when you breathe out? Or does your shoulder rise and fall as you breathe in and breathe out? It will tell you whether your breathing is shallow or deep. If the breath is deep and diaphragmatic, there is better chance for you to be able to dilate your mind, to thin down your thoughts and begin the process of focus. And therefore pranayama we taught you, and in pranayama, Nadi Shuddhi pranayama, meant for harmonizing the breath, meant for bringing this balance and the deepened rhythm of your smooth, continuous breathing. A deepened rhythm of a smooth, continuous breathing where there is no pause, there is no jerk, there is a flowing rhythm. And once you have done some pranayama practice, you are ready now to move into the deeper relaxation process. What you were taught, it would be wonderful if you can repeat that as your practice, if you don't have already any specific meditation practice. You need to be able to, in this next step after alignment, the second step, what we call this relaxation. What is this relaxation? The relaxation means the body's ability to be able to surrender its weight to the pull of gravity. The body's ability to be able to surrender its weight to the pull of gravity. Please understand. And this means you cannot, in relaxation, this holding tight, holding up through muscular tensions need to be released. And hence we do a part by part relaxation. And in this what happens? Well, what happens is, in your inner space, your sense organs are withdrawn. The body, the muscle tensions or tensions in your joints and so on are, you release, part by part you release. The more you release the muscular and the tensions in your joints, let go part by part, your sensitivity to the tactile sensations of your body increases, it grows. The more relaxed you are, the deeper is your breath. And relaxation means drawing the senses back to where they belong, into their natural quiet space. If the sense organs are distracted by the external sound or the external smells or the external forms, understand your meditation is not going to go anywhere because your mind is distracted. And therefore, to bring the mind to a Manasa Puja or to any form of meditation, the common denominator here is alignment, called asanam, and relaxation, which is this process of pratyahara. And therefore, disengaging the sense organs from the external sense objects, bringing the sense organs back to its natural abidance, its natural, where it belongs, in the inner space of your awareness. What happens is your whole sense of your body identity begins to shift. You become more aware of the tactile sensations. You become more aware. The relaxation helps you hear and feel with deeper, greater clarity. And not only that, the biggest achievement in good pratyahara practice is that your mind slows down its monologuing journey. Every day we start the day on a monologuing journey. And to slow down the mind, really this relaxation, this process of withdrawal from the external, withdrawing the senses from the external, and your pranayama becomes deeper and deeper, and you find that your monologuing also reduces to a great extent. And with this comes a feeling. Your own feeling of self is no more connected to body identification. The body is or feels more nothing but more of it tactile sensations, flowing sensations. And the relaxation is that which will, this pratyahara is that which will ground you, which will stabilize you. It is grounding and it will stabilize you with the pull of gravity. A very important step. If alignment is not proper, your pranayama and pratyahara will not be proper. Once your pranayama and pratyahara is deepened and rhythmically you have grounded the body and your breath, what is the next fallout of this, the next outcome of this is a resilience. A resilience is that stillness that you enjoy. A stillness means your body sensation and your breath will move in its own rhythm. From the top of your head to the tip of your toe, you feel a resilience, feel the resilience. It's a quiescence movement, it's a quiet motion. Stillness is a quiet, silencing or quietening of the body and the mind. Please understand, stillness is not rigidity. Stillness is not immobility. Stillness is not sitting stiff. If sit stiff doesn't mean you are still. All it means is you are stiff. Stillness is that deeply relaxed state of the body and the mind, where the movement of the breath brings a certain rhythm to the sensations you feel. It's something like, it's something like when the wave moves the water. It's not the wave moves the water, the wave moves through the water. It comes back and it moves through the water. The breath moves through this resilience that the body naturally enjoys because it is so relaxed. So the sensation of the body with the tactile sensations of the body, with the flow of the breath, when you more or less get there with asana, pranayama and pratyahara, with your alignment, relaxation and this resilience, when these three come to a certain baseline, a certain comfort level, don't tell me I can't do it. You can and you must. This is the way you learn to see yourself different from, away from the physical body, no? How do I recognize the nature of the self as a non-physical being if I'm never able to disconnect or dissociate from my body-mind-sense complex? So, these three steps, when you hold your body, what will happen? All that will happen in holding the body stiff, that there will always be a constant muscular tension. The contraction will be there. The relaxation won't come. The natural flow of breath and energy through the body is stifled. The stiffness, the tension, keeping tension, you cannot meditate. And to release yourself from the bodily tensions and the mental tensions, the muscular tensions, and the running of the sense organs towards the external object, drawing it back in, this process is called asana, pranayama and pratyahara. And as these three get integrated with regular sitting practice, same time, same place, empty stomach, a good bath, lighting a lamp, invoking the divine, when you move into a meditation of this nature, you will find a natural integration of your posture, your breath, the pratyahara, the relaxation, and the integrated process, which is this quiet, silent, relaxed resilience called stillness, the stillness. When these three, when these three get integrated, suppose you find, you suddenly get disturbed, well, you can always do your pranayama and find the quiet again. If after 15 minutes you need to adjust your posture, do so. This comes by practice. More you practice, in the Gita itself, Arjuna is so diffident about meditation, like many of us are. That's why we love Arjuna so much. Because he has all the problems that we have, But he also listens to the answers of Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna says, when Arjuna says, how can I do this? My mind runs all over the place. He gives only 2 words. Lord Krishna says, you can do it when you do a regular practice. When your practice is regular, abhyasena tu kaunteya, vairagyena cha grihyate. And if as a person you are a mature soul, you are not such a materialistically greedy, a compulsive person wanting materialism as your life identity, If you have a certain balanced relationship with the external world, there is a vairagya, there is a detachment, a natural maturity from the external. With abhyasa and vairagya, you can achieve this meditation. And discovering that quiet space within yourself through these three practices, now what? Now you are ready for Upasana Dhyanam. With this, I am now ready. Now you can do whatever you want. You can do Upasana, Murti Upasana, you can do a Japa Upasana, you can do whatever you wish to, but the baseline must be arrived at. My relationship with the body must undergo a shift. What's going to be, how will I know whether I've reached a correct, comfortable space? You will know. You will know. Why? Because your mind will not run anywhere. Your thoughts will not be wild. You will know the fruit of this meditation when there is clear awareness of the present moment. When you remain in the present with clear awareness, you have gained a certain grip of this process. And in this quiet inner space comes the next step called dharana. Dharana. Dharana is fixing the mind. Now you can fix your mind. Now that the monologue has reduced, now that your breath has deepened, now that you find your posture stable, and there is a buoyancy of the body, you feel light like a feather. Now you are ready to move into dharana. And what is dharana? Dharana is, in this particular Shiva Manasa Puja, dharana is consciously creating your altar. When you begin to enjoy that inner silence called Antar Maunam, you become aware of, as I said, you become alert to outside sounds in this moment. Much more heightened they become. You become aware of the inner racing or disturbances in the mind. You become more sensitive. You also become aware of thoughts that have come that shouldn't be there now, and you gain the capacity to resolve it or dissolve it. As they arise, you can resolve it because you are so much available in the present. Like you learn to resolve the thoughts in dhyanam, when you do your japa, you learn to resolve the thoughts. Any thought other than the one you have chosen, other than the mantra you have chosen, you learn to let other thoughts resolve or dissolve. What is Shiva Manasa Puja? In Shiva Manasa Puja, I consciously create my thoughts. I choose certain thoughts. I create them and I fix my altar. While I fix my altar, I have a choice. Either to merely recite the Shiva Manasa Puja mentally or actually perform each step as I recite. And this happens in your inner frame because you have enough of a focus that you can lock in an altar. of the Shivalinga. And what is the prayer? What is it that you're visualizing? What are you going to actually do in this prayer? And how it is so empowering to be able to recite these 5 verses to Lord Shiva in your inner space is believe me, there is nothing equal to this. The verses themselves develop, they progress in the growth of the devotee. The devotee who devotes a practice of offering a mental worship, by the time he finishes the 3 verses of the worship, when he enters the 4th, there is a meltdown of that devotee into his altar. We will see this as we learn the Shiva Manasa Puja. If you find the meditations difficult, or you have some extra diffidence, or you don't have the time now, it's okay. You can start with just learning the Shiva Manasa Puja, understanding the bhavana, the sentiment behind it, and whenever you are ready, you start your contemplative practice. Because to be able to have a contemplative practice of this dimension is really a grace, the greatest gift you can give yourself. You will learn to relate to your own soul differently once a practice like this kicks in your life. More about the details of Shiva Manasa Puja we will begin in our next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.